It's Tuesday, it's 1 o'clock, and I'm in a tea and coffee bean, trying to get plenty of fluids inside me because I picked up this bug. Another bug. Oh, dear me. Alright, I posted a vlog yesterday and over the last couple of days about my journey back from Manila. And I've got a couple more I'm going to post. But I thought I'd share this intriguing little story. When I got on the bus in Manila, there was a guy sitting in front of me, and I was in seat 7. He was in seat 4, and we started talking and we started chatting. He was going back to Davao, he was coming to Davao for a bereavement. So he worked in Manila doing something. I don't know what he did, but we never got that far. We were just doing chica. But when we got to Alan on Samar, a young girl got on the bus and was sat next to him at the front, and the conversation between me and him dried up, but the conversation between him and her expanded, and you could see from the conversation that the guy was asking her questions because he quite liked her, and she lived with a foreigner in Surigao, and had done for about 8 or 9 years, and she had a lifestyle. She got X amount of money a month from this foreigner. I think he came from Romania or Bulgaria or Croatia, but Eastern European. And this guy was asking her some probing questions. Why go out with a foreigner? Why not go out with a Filipino? Why can't you find a Filipino that can turn around and you can love and you can live with and you can start a family? And it transgresses into him turning around and saying, well, you could go out with me. And we're on this bus now from Alan down to Surigao, and it's going to be around 16, 17 hours. And when we stop, he gets off and he sits down at a table with her, and they turn around talking. And my assumption is that they've never met, because my previous conversation was, does he have a relationship? No. He works in Manila and he's got family back in Wuhan. He doesn't have any children, everything like that. But I don't know much about her but the conversation is not in Visaya, it's not in Visaya, and it's not in Tagalog, it's English. They're talking in English, and I'm doing my ear with it. I'm just listening to this conversation, and you can see, well, why are you going out? Can't you find a Filipino you can go out? Why not go out with me? And he's pushing himself forward, and he's going, oh. So you don't know whether this is like he wants a full-time relationship, or does he want a quick one-night stand, or and they turn around. Sorry about the cough, mate. And the conversation goes, and when she gets off at one of the stops to go to the CR, he's then talking to the bus driver and the bus conductor, as I call it, the guy that's on the bus, and they're turning around and saying, oh, you're doing really, really well there, great, you're finding chica, marites, kissy, all of this. When she comes back on, that conversation stops. He then turns around and goes back to having a conversation with her. Then we have to stop to turn around and get the bus fixed, because there's a fuel leak at the back of the bus. So we pull over in Tacloban, and they weld something on the back, and he's still yakky, still talking about, well, we could meet up, we could go out together, we could do this. Well, even better, why don't you just stay on the bus and come with me to Wuhan? You can meet my family, and you can do. It's all running forward really, really, really quickly, and I'm like, this girl's got a foreigner who's paying her X amount of money a month as an allowance. She's got a house that she lives in with him on Surigao del Sur. We get to Surigao, and it's ticking over, And I'm thinking to myself, okay, is she going to turn around and go with him, or is she going to stay and go? Anyway, it transpires that she stays on the bus. She's texted the foreigner. Anyway, when it comes to paying the bus ticket from just before Butuan to Davao, the guy doesn't have any money. Strange that, isn't it? And she doesn't have any money. Strange that, even though she's getting around 30,000 peso a month as an allowance. So at Butuan, she and him stand in front of the bus and say their goodbyes, hugs, kisses, exchange of numbers, text messaging and stuff like that. Anyway, on the journey south, he starts talking to me again, and he's explaining that he hopes the relationship will blossom or it will move forward. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, well, if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Anyway, he's texting her, she's texting him. So I found it really, really interesting that after 10 years with a foreigner, she's willing to drop everything to find a boyfriend her age, because the foreigner is around 72 and this girl's around 28. The boy on the bus is around 27, what he said to me, and they're of a similar age. But he has a job in Manila, but he doesn't own a house, he doesn't have any children, he doesn't have a relationship. They've never met before, they've just met on the bus. And this relationship, you could see the relationship growing between, he was making these comments, well, you don't need to have a foreigner, you could turn around and go out with me. We could have a relationship together, we could have a, get together, we could turn around and have a family. All these things were coming out. And the English was very good between the pair of us. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, here we go. And I never got to the bottom whether it was a one-night stand or whether it ended up being an alliance that was just something that happened on the bus. And when they couldn't afford to pay the bus fare from Butuan down to Davao, she went her way, he went his way. But it was intriguing to watch this guy put all the comparisons about a young Filipino that we could work together, to a Filipina who'd already got a relationship with a foreigner, that's got a house, that's got income, but doesn't maybe have love, but maybe doesn't have children, but maybe she wants children, maybe she wants love, and this young guy can give her that. And she's willing to turn around and not get off in Chagall, but stay on the bus until they get to just outside Butuan. It was fascinating to watch this young guy, talk to her about what he could offer and what he could give to her and what they could turn around and do together and what. She was an attractive young lady, don't get me wrong, she's an attractive young lady, but would it last it? I don't know. I can only be judgmental, and I'm not going to be judgmental. They found love on the bus. They definitely didn't know each other. One person joined in Samar and the other person joined in Manila 18 hours beforehand. So I don't think I'm going to see them. I won't see them again. I don't think they'll watch my vlog because they've never gave you my details. But it was fascinating for me how this young guy was putting together this conversation, and every now and again they would have a heated discussion, and they wouldn't talk to each other for about an hour, and then they would get back to talking to each other. And that seems to be a trend in the Philippines, as I've seen it. Filipinos get angry or Filipinos get angry, they don't talk, then they get back together and they start chatting again, and then they don't go near that subject while they're having a conversation. So don't go down that avenue on the conversation about love and what you're doing. But the thing for me was when we got to Chagall, she stayed on that bus, and whether she could have got off, but she was still interested in staying on that bus and travelling an hour south to Boutoir before the bus conductor asked for a ticket, and she, whether right or wrong, didn't have the money, and he didn't have the money, but they still had that conversation, and they both said cheerio, and then they went their separate way. But they still continued to talk. They still continued to have messages, chica chica. I don't know whether on his return he stopped at Chagall to meet her and took her back to Manila. The way he was talking to her was, you come with me and I'll look after you. You stay with me, we can get a house. Well, do you have a house? He said, oh, do you have somewhere to live? Oh no, I've got rented accommodation in Manila. Oh, what is your job? Oh, everything was a little bit wishy-washy, but she was willing to turn around and jump ship, as I call it. Whether they had any money to get from Chagall back to Manila on the bus, which was around 2,500 peso, I don't know. But I did find it interesting that the conversation was in English, so that others on the bus couldn't turn around and understand what was going on. But anyway, I've got to get over this cough and I've got to get over this choking, so I'm going to get something to eat, and I wish them all the best in their newfound love life or newfound relationship, and hopefully it goes the distance. But love on a bus, infatuation, or the real thing? Like, share, subscribe, guys. Take care.